My name is Ella, and I work as a credit lead in Starling, and I used
Mhm.
to be an economics student at University of Aberdeen.
Thank you very much. And why did you decide to go to University of Aberdeen?
It was mainly because I wanted to go abroad. So I'm originally from Hungary, and I wanted
Mhm.
to be in a more cultural environment.
Yeah.
And then I thought it's gonna be opening up a lot of doors for me.
Hmm.
And then it was pre-Brexit, so Scotland was just an obvious choice because it was free for EU students, and yeah, it was
Hmm.
good times.
Yeah, nice. And why did you decide to study economics?
So I liked math a lot in high school. And then I was also interested in politics and business, and I thought economics would be a nice combination.
Hmm.
I actually started with economics and management, but I ended up dropping management, for example, because I didn't really think that's for me. But economics I really liked um, solving real examples
Hmm.
with analytical approach. So yeah, liked it very much.
Yeah, interesting. And what are some of your favorite memories from being a student in Aberdeen?
Um, I think it was probably, well, two things. I think one was just the environment. I thought the university was really an open cultured environment, and I got a lot of support from students and the university and lecturers as well. And then I guess just being a student and being around people, I made really,
Hmm.
really good friends who are still my best friends and really close to me. And I felt like I was really in an inspiring environment and had a lot of experience. I had a lot of fun, but I also worked hard. So I think, yeah, probably the environment and the people.
Yeah, interesting. And what is your current job and responsibilities, and how does your typical day looks like?
Yeah, so as I said, I work as a credit lead for Starling Bank.
Hmm.
So day to day, there are some pretty important projects that I'm working on, which takes up most of the time, and I lead on these projects from a credit risk perspective. So I work really close with the
Hmm.
commercial teams and pricing and second line credit risk and finance to make these things happen. And then aside that, day-to-day portfolio and product management
Hmm.
as well, just to make sure that we achieving the returns we wanted and it's all safe and good for the customer as well.
Hmm. Interesting. And what trends do you think will shape the future of credit risk strategy and regulations within the UK banking sector?
Um, I think the big thing in the UK banking sector at the minute is probably um, AI and new technologies, which I
Hmm.
think changing the sector for the better. Um, I think with the tools available now, um, we're able to do real life decisioning on real life customer information. And then also when you give the tools into the customer hands, um, they get more insight to their spending and to their habits, which form a more financial savvy decision from their side as well. So I think it's more
Hmm.
dynamic, more customer centric. It's moving away from the traditional banking model. So I think by that, we can also serve a wider range of customers as well, and probably with more bespoke products than what used to be.
Interesting. And what have been some of the most valuable lessons you've learned from working with both buy-to-let and unsecured lending portfolios?
Yeah, so I think just to think about my career, so I started on the NatWest graduate scheme, which I thought was a really good opportunity to get insight to different areas. And then I ended up getting a role which was with unsecured products. And that was in a team that was a really solid team working on overdrafts and loans, which are like really legacy products. And that gave a really, really good foundation to learn about credit decisioning and the overarching credit risk framework. And then I moved into buy to let.
Hmm.
because first of all, I wanted to have a different sort of perspective on credit risk. And that team was also a new team because it was a new strategy focus for NatWest to focus on buy-to-let. So whereas in my previous team, it was a well-established team. Now I moved to a new team and it was all around building out the controls and the framework
Mhm.
and the journey and new product proposals. So I think that was a really good experience to have a different insight into credit risk. And obviously, the credit risk for an unsecured and credit
Mhm.
and the secured portfolio is very different as well. And now I work in Starling, which is a first line role. So I'm at the business side of things. So it's very commercial focused. So I have a different view again. So I think is that credit risk sounds like a very niche thing, but in reality, it's so broad and you can end up doing so
Yeah,
many different things.
interesting. Thank you for explaining it. And what advice do you have for students who are looking to get into your field, your area?
Um, First of all, I think is as a student, I think it's hard to know what you want and what you like. So, for example, an internship and the graduate scheme might be a really good opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
explore the area, whether you like it or not. And then I think at entry level, what's really important is really good analytical foundations. So probably coding, especially with Python. Um, it is something you can get away not knowing when you join on an internship and grad scheme and learn it on the job. But if you want to enter to a field different way, then it's probably a requirement. And then maybe just have a mentor
Mm-hmm.
who can lead you to that field in a sense that um, can help you decide help you realize what skills you're missing and what skills you still need to develop to enter to credit risk, I think.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your advice. Or are there any books or podcasts you would recommend for our students? It might be career or non-career related.
Um, yeah, so I don't think I have anything specific, but one thing I really like reading, for example, biographies. I think they always give you an advice that you didn't really think you need. And then I think people have very different lives and different life stories, and sometimes you can relate to the most unexpected side of their lives, both from a professional and a personal level. So I think biography is a good way to sort of explore who you are and get like unexpected advice, as I said. And podcasts, I don't really listen to business related podcasts, but one thing that I did start listening to a couple of years ago, and I wish I listened to it earlier when I was a student, is a podcast called Psychology in Your 20s, which is just a girl interviewing different people and talk about like real life problems people go through in their 20s. And I thought it's sometimes funny, sometimes really relatable, and again, gives you really good advice and sometimes comfort that other people go through the same thing that you're going through.
Yeah, thank you very much. And would you say networking is important in your industry? And if yes, how can students benefit from networking?
Um, Networking is important.
Hmm.
Probably is the most important thing, like who you know,
Yeah.
one of the most important things. But I would be careful with networking because, for example, personally, I am not a big fan of networking events that advertise the networking events and you're meant to go there and chat to random people because it's not something that aligns to my personality. So I think when it comes to networking, the most important thing I think is being authentic and do networking your authentic way, which for me is genuinely building connection through my work and through my interests. So I might reach out to people that I don't necessarily know, but because I'm genuinely interested in what they're doing and I like to learn about that. And I built a lot of connections through my work, just genuinely being introduced to other people and working close to other people.
Mhm.
But I never really forced it. And then probably another good advice back to having a good mentor, because I've been mentored by amazing people and I also mentor people myself. And I think that's a really good way to. So, for example, if you have a mentor, especially if you
Mhm.
have a senior mentor, that person can really introduce you to other people and opportunities, which come really helpful later on. But yeah, I think just don't force networking and just do it your natural way. I think that would be my advice.
Thank you very much. And lots of students are struggling with stress due to academia or some personal things. What's your advice how to deal with stress in the best way, how to navigate it?
Yeah, so I'm an avid runner. So I find any sort of physical form of exercise being super helpful for stress, and that can be really anything, even just go for a walk. Probably that's the other thing, like being outside and being in nature, and balancing the busy um, student or working life. And then I think maybe just a few daily routines that gives you a really good structures and calms you down when things get a bit crazy. You know that you have that one thing that you can always turn back to. But yeah, so for me, that helped a lot. And as I said, running and just being out. I do that on a daily basis before or after work. And I do see the difference in terms of my mood and
Mhm.
how anxious I am and how much I overthink.
Yeah, thank you. And the last question is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Um, so youngers have probably university. I think I was really lucky at university because I made really good friends at week one, a freshers week, and they are my best friends up to this day. So I probably say um, go out and meet people, and if you found really good and really inspiring people who are there for you and inspire you to do more, then put the effort in the friendship. Because, for example, now my friends are in different countries, so it's a lot of effort to maintain the friendship, but it's really worth it.
Hmm.
And then the second is probably asking for more help. I think everyone struggles with asking for help sometimes, especially when it comes to like a job or uni, because you don't really want to seem stupid, but it's only something that I think is inside of us. And then once we um, get through that barrier, it's really, really helpful to ask questions and ask for support. Like, for example, at uni, like I asked the career service for career advice. I asked the lecturers when I didn't know the answer to a homework and things like that, and asked friends for support. And it's nice to have a network and then get advice from other people, I think.